are hill repeats. And hill repeats are one of the best workouts you can do because you can do them anywhere, as long as you don't live in Texas, right? But hill repeats are, you can do long ones, you can do short ones. And let me tell you something, this is truly speed work in disguise. So you could do them formally. You could say, hey, I'm going to do 10 repeats up this hill and I'm going to do them in such and such time. Or you could go out and you could just run this hill and that hill and really mix it up. And that's what I like about hill repeats. But when you do that, you're going to be working on your strength, your power, your speed, your running form. You want to drink to thirst and you want to keep it scheduled. But if you're drinking too much water throughout a long run, throughout a marathon, you're going to start to feel bloated. You're going to start to put yourself at risk for hyponatremia, which is a really serious condition, and it happens a lot in female runners because many of them are, you know, they want to do everything they can to be as successful as possible. And so they're like, I'm going to make sure I drink, I'm going to make sure I take my goos, my gels, all those things. And so what we find in most cases is not a runner not drinking enough, but in many times that they're drinking too much. So be careful with that. On incorporating some more cross training in your regimen that will help you, one, lose the weight while giving your shin and your foot a little break. Also, try to find areas that are a little bit more flat if you can within the city. And if you can't, and I know it's a tough time of year to do this because we all want to get outside, work on at least getting on the treadmill and doing some flat running there if you are going to run. You want to start working on those things first to at least be addressing some of the causes behind why you might be having the pain, which is one, the increased weight, which there's a whole nutritional component to that too, but two, do things to minimize the impact on your foot. Running a marathon in October, and Run Coach currently has me running 30 to 36 miles per week. Is that appropriate? I'm 54 years old. Mileage of 30 some week at 54 years old. Well, there's a lot of things that we could ask you, Don, about this. Are you feeling good? Is that more than you ever run before? That seems reasonable for someone running a marathon in their 50s. I would figure you might have some cross-training days within that. The best advice I can give to you with that information just from the question is this. Gauge how you're feeling on a day-to-day basis. And if you feel you're not recovering, then maybe you need to replace one of those runs for a cross-training day. And there's no shame in that. You can use our recovery calculator to gauge your recovery and has been extremely effective in helping a lot of runners in this group determine whether they're actually recovering appropriately and taking into account sleep, hydration, nutrition, all sorts of different factors. But you want to make sure that you're progressing, and that's the number one, progressing and not having injury. Those are the two most important things when you look at, is that appropriate for me? What exercise you recommend to gain speed? I'll give the short answer on this because I said that was our last question, but the best exercise that we can give you is actually a series of drills, and I'll post a link to this. They're called Flash Hill drills, and they have been utilized by runners around the world to improve their speed. So Jess, I will post a link to this. You can watch the video, you can read all about them, and it'll definitely help you become a faster runner. A lot of fun with everyone, and thank you for all the questions and comments. Like I said, there's a lot of you who have things that we could talk about more in depthly, so please check out our live chat messaging feature tomorrow. We'll open at 8 a.m. and we can talk about it more via the messaging. And then also, if you were not able to ask your question tonight and you're watching this later, that will still be available to you. So